Hi there guys, just a quick tip today about how we can blacken up weapons such as this flamer, which is crying out to be blackened up. As you can see, all I've done at the moment is just painted it like I would a standard bolt or anything like that. It was obviously undercoated in this blue colour originally, but it's been base coated black again, back to black. So it started on the others. We've had a base coat of gunmetal on top of that, followed by what have we put on top of that? Chainmail. Put chainmail on top of that one just as a highlight. Washed it all in Badder black and then highlighted slightly again in chainmail. And so we've got a reasonable looking weapon as it is, but what will make it really pop is to make it look a bit more like the end of this gun. Let's see here. You can see that if we bring it up closer. We've got some blackening effect on the end of the flamer, which just adds an extra level of detail and makes it look more realistic. And it's dead easy to do, guys. First of all, we get our flamer. I'll get myself a dry brush. This is fitted on medium dry brush. I love the dry brushes from Citadel. Not too keen on the other paint brushes, they don't tend to last too well. I mean, they're great for beginners and they're great to have as just as a tool knocking about every now and again. But really, once you can start to afford it, I would suggest you invest in some sable brushes, especially Kolinsky sable. I bought a whole sort of batch of about 5 or 6 brushes off eBay from this Hobby Games Kolinsky sable from Germany. I think it cost me £11, 5 brushes, and I got a size 4, 5, 000, quadruple 0, and an 8, which is a beast of a brush. Great for doing tanks and things like that. But yeah, so back to this. So we've got a medium dry brush because I love the GW dry brushes, and what we need to do is get a bit of black paint, Chaos Black, rub quite a bit of it off onto tissue paper until you've just got about, there we go, you see that? Just got some of the paint coming off, so it looks a bit like soot, because that's exactly what we're after. Start at the front, like this, and just start blackening it up. Don't go crazy, it's better to do several coats again as ever. Spread it so as it looks like it's oxidised, turn it around to the other side. You want to concentrate more on the front than the first few layers and just gently bring it back to the edges. There we go, that's the first layer. It shouldn't take long for that to dry, because the whole point of this method is dry brushing. So the paint's getting pretty dry. Anyway, right, the next level. Once again, focusing more on the front now. Bring it to the front, especially trying to hit those holes. On top. Really quite black at the front, but still won't be able to see the metal underneath a little bit. Metallic paint that we've put on before. There we go, it's starting to blacken up. We probably need about 5, I would have thought about 5 layers of this just to make it come up really nice and dark at the front. Make sure, okay, and then we're going to add another level, more black, concentrating more and more towards the front as we do it. We're not using the standard dry brush technique of going back and forth like that because we want to really control where this paint's going. And if we went backwards and forwards, you bring the paint back too much, and what I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm pushing the brush at the edge, pushing it forwards, so that I'm getting more of the paint towards the front of the gun than I am at the back of the gun barrel. Now it's starting to build up more and more. Let's get a bit more paint on there. Take most of it up again and then carry on. Now it's starting to really blacken up now. Every now and again just change your stroke. Go up and down so you don't get any brush patterns, brush strokes showing up too much. Really go to town on the front. Standard dry brush technique. I'm getting there compared to the other one. Nearly there. We do a sneaky little trick at the end. Just to bring it, to make it pop on there. We'll put one more layer on, I think. That's the 5th layer. Dry brushing on it. Just really make it right at the end. Pull it down. There we go. There we go, guys. That's looking pretty cool already. Just do something, a little something, just to bring it back a little bit at the edge, so we make it just pop out a little bit more. We go back to the final layer of paint that we did on here, which was chainmail. Put that palette, touch of chainmail, a little bit of black, not a great deal. Very subtle mix of the two colours. I'll show you on the palette here. Chainmail, we're just mixing it with the black. Used it before. So you've got an element of both colours. Black from, I mean, you could use a dark metallic colour if you wanted to, but I always like to use two. If I'm using two paints on a model, I like to combine the elements of the two paints that I've used. And therefore you know that you're getting a tone that's already there, and it marries it up and just blends it up nicer. More nicely even, not nicer. Listening to the primary children a bit too much recently. That's cool. And the final thing we can do here, just to make it a little bit more, just brush off a bit of this, just around the edge. Yeah, just brings it back in again. Just there. It's easy to do if you do over dry brush it a bit like this, just to bring back the metallic flavour of the weapon, flamer and everything. You want what you want. You don't want this whole thing here with all the exhaust completely black. We can see in this one, because if you do it completely black, it doesn't look right. It looks like it's been painted black rather than actually being from damage of the flames. So you want at least 50%, maybe more, as we can see here, of the actual end of the barrel scorched and black, and then you want towards the back. As we've just done a mix that's slightly darker than the other metals that are on the gun, but that shows that what the original colour of the weapon was underneath before it got scorched. Okay guys, I hope that was useful. Got any feedback, please leave it. Any comments, please subscribe and rate. And if you want to see anything in the future, let me know and I'll try my best to get it done for you.